I want to talk to you a little bit about school community. Contributions to the school are more than just monetary. There are many opportunities that you as a parent can do. If you can't make a monetary contribution, you can't make other kinds of contributions. You can volunteer, you can come into the classroom. This is something that I really want to move forward with in the coming years, to make sure that parents are involved in the daily ongoing running of the school. Now, we do have parents that are involved right now, and we love that and appreciate that. But in just a couple minutes, I'm going to do something that's kind of daring. I'm going to actually make a guarantee. I'm going to actually say something to you that probably don't hear too many administrators say. Going back to this, by investing your time and our expertise in any number of areas, you contribute to the school community. You can do it from the home. You can do it from the BFA. You can make treats. You can volunteer in the classroom. You can attend to a school need. And let me tell you an example of attending to a school need. I'm going to need to find somebody, and this is, you can come up to me after this, but I'm going to need to find somebody who has an Ada County license plate and is willing to go to the landfill on behalf of the school, because we have a number of things that need to be taken to the landfill. Now, I would go, except I have a Canyon County plate on my truck, and they won't let me into the Ada County landfill with a Canyon County plate. So I'm going to need somebody with a truck to actually load up whatever we have, take it over there and get rid of it. It's that kind of stuff, attending to the need in the school. There are a lot of things. You probably have figured this out already. I do a lot of different things. I wear a lot of different hats. If you were driving by this summer, you may have observed me riding a lawnmower, and getting my suntan. And I want to, while I'm thinking about that, there is a company that I need to put a plug in for. It's Dave Schubert's dad's limousine company. And what's the name of it? Absolute Limousines. Dave's dad, who owns Absolute Limousines. So if you ever need to or want to treat your child to a limousine experience, or you just want to do it for yourself and your wife, or you just want to be in it alone and see what you should use Absolute Limousines. It was really cool. One day he drove up to the school in a limousine, picked up his grandkids, and I think they were pretty impressed with Grandpa. But it was Dave's dad who loaned his lawnmower riding lawnmower to the school all spring and all summer. All I had to do was bring it over here, and he let us use it for free, and that was a great thing. And so we're going to advertise Absolute Limousines, and I told you, for businesses that help the school, we're going to try to help them, and we're going to get the word out for Absolute Limousines, because he really is. His name is Claude Stewart. Claude is not only a great-grandfather, not a great-grandfather, he's a fantastic grandfather. Kelsey, you think I'm funny grandfather. You're like my laugh track. So let's move on. Again, with school community. This was what I was doing in the wee hours of last night. We are going to continue to be a harbor school. And that, by definition, means different things to different people. But harbor schools encourage parents to volunteer in various ways to enhance school effectiveness. We want you to get involved in the school. Some of you get involved in different ways, but we want you to do it. By the way, I want to thank the ladies who are responsible for helping to actually clean up the front in the afternoon today. We moved a lot of stuff to the back. It really looks pretty nice out there. It doesn't look like a garage. Research does show that parent participation increases student achievement, and this is about student achievement. Our school is one of the highest achieving schools in the state of Idaho. I don't know if you know that, but actually, academically, we have some of the top scores in the state of Idaho. We need to continue that, though, because not every child is in school. Not everybody that comes to the school they have different learning styles, and so we're going to need to be able to adapt to a diverse population of students, because we have some kids who are at risk that come to our school as well. We're glad to have them. So 2010, 2011, our enrollment goals, we've pretty much reached our enrollment goal. We would have liked to have had around 300 kids for this year, but let me tell you this, today we're right at about 272 students. Last year at this time, we were struggling to have 225. So we've gone from 225 a year later to 270. Now there is a capacity in the school, but this school would not have made it this year if we were still at 225. So the good news is we have people coming in almost on a daily basis. I think Terry friend, our secretary, who I cannot even begin to sing enough of her praises. She is absolutely she is giving fantastic customer service. She gives personalized tours of the school to anybody. She takes them around. She talks about the school with a knowledge base. She can speak about the academics in the school. And we are very, very, and I'm not just saying this seriously. When you walk in the building, if you're a stranger, the first person you see is the person sitting at the desk. And the impression that you're probably going to have in the school is going to be probably cast upon you by that person who is sitting there. And it's not me because I'm hiding behind her. I live behind her. But I listen and I hear how she treats people. It is first class all the time. And not only adults, but I want you to know that your children are treated with love, dignity, and respect by her. She knows their names. She encourages them. Sometimes they come and they say, in fact, I can tell you, as a matter of fact, she was sitting over there with Emily the other day because her neck was stiff. For some reason, she was having some stiffness, and she was given a neck rub to Emily. We actually have a cot that kids lay down on. Terry does it all, and Terry works way more than she should. And probably the biggest mistake I ever did was buy her go to my PC, because now she goes home and she does her work at home. But I just want to publicly acknowledge her, and she does a great job. We're struggling a little bit this year financially, and there are some things, I'm not going to go into great detail, but there are some things that we have to figure out, and that's what Tracy is going to help us do, is to figure out what it's going to take in order for us to not be in this position. We were in this position a year ago, probably through no fault of our own. Part of the reason we're in this position, and it's not the only reason, but part of it's the economy. Part of it is enrollment, and part of it is the way schools are funded. Now, if you pay any attention at all to what's going on at the state level in terms of education funding, you know that there is an initiative to cut back, to raise class. And I always chuckle when I hear somebody say the average class size would be 18 or something like that. That just kind of, to me, is funny. Because if you talk to Erin Waller, who has over 30, I won't say how many, but she has over 32. So she has 33 kids in her classroom. 18 sounds a long way away from her, and there's a lot of responsibility that goes along with that. But finances are driven at this school by attendance and enrollment, and it's also going to be driven, quite frankly, by contributions in the future. This school is going to become whatever you want it to become and be. If in the future, if 3 years from now we have the same computer lab that we have now, it's not going to be because we didn't want it. It's because we didn't have the resources to put it together to bring it forward. And it's going to require sacrifice, and it's going to require probably giving from everybody. And then go back to that 38% number. When you think about 38%, you do the math, you realize how many people are not participating. Those are the people that are kind of the next horizon for us to kind of go become a part of the school, even if it's a small part, even if it's minimal. And it's a little bit like churches. If you go to church, you know that not everybody tithes. That there's probably a small percentage of the church that actually tithes and tithes fully. And I've heard preachers say this before, that if everybody tithed, there would be more money, and they could do more things and dream more programs than they ever thought of before. And it's the same for us. And it's not about, I don't want to say it's tithing, but it's going to be about being able to require the system, because we do not have the ability to generate money school districts have. A school district, I'll give you one good example. In the Nampa School District last year, they had 285 children more. They had 285 more children than they had the year before. Because they had that, they could run what's called an emergency levy, and they could levy the taxpayers in Nampa, and they immediately raised $1 million, just like that, without a vote. And of course, if they need more money, you know how school districts run, they conduct elections and things like that. So I want to talk to you about investment. I'm not an investment expert, but I do know that in order for this school to be successful, it's going to require investing. It's going to require me to invest in the school. It's going to require teachers to invest. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about investing in the school, becoming a part of your child's school, so that you know me, I know you. I'm bad with names, but eventually I get it when people come and so the returns on your investment into the school. And these are the guarantees that I thought about last night, and this is the guarantee that I'll make to you as the administrator of the school. Is that my guarantee to you is that all students will be on grade level or above in all academic areas next year. That's my guarantee to you. And how are we going to make that happen? That's going to be kind of hard, because the teachers that are sitting here are probably saying, we have some students that are below grade level. We have many that are way above grade level. We have a few that we're going to have to target those students, and we're going to have probably some after-school programs. We're going to have some things in place that will take care of those kids, so that the guarantee is met that all students will be on grade level or above, and most of them we want to be above in all academic areas. All academic areas. And that's my guarantee to you. All students will receive a rigorous program. I will guarantee to you that next year, as we work into this year, that there will be rigor in the academic program, and it will be appropriate for your kids. If you're like me, I'm a parent too, you want your children to receive a good, solid education so that they can move on, and they can go on. And we go to 8th grade, and what I want to do is develop and nurture well-rounded children and young men and young women, so that when they leave, they can go out to wherever it is they're going to go and be successful. So if they go to, even if they're homeschooled, that they're going to be successful. I have two sons of my own who have been, I would say, successful, and I know personally what it takes to get a student through high school, through college, into grad school, and to be successful. And I don't mind telling you my story, because I think you need to know a little bit about me. Aaron and Jason, my two sons, they were good students. They went to a school district where they got probably an average education. But once they got into high school, that's where they began to blossom, because they began to take advanced placement classes and the kinds of things that we want to prepare your children to do well in. My boys did very well. My oldest son was a National Merit Scholar. He's now at the University of Oregon, getting a degree in mathematics, getting a PhD in mathematics. And let me tell you, someday I'll have to show you what it looks like, because it's like a foreign language. I mean, seriously. But he's happy. He's getting a degree, and he's now moving into that next stage of life. And that's, we live in a competitive world. It's going to be competitive. But my boys are well-rounded, and they're making their way. My other son, the good news is, my other son heard from Notre Dame today, and it looks like he's going to get into Notre Dame, into their graduate school. So I appreciate what it's like to have that feeling of your children being successful. And trust me, it never changes. When they're in their 20s, they're still your little boy, or they're adults, but you still watch them and you want them to be successful. I worry about my youngest son, who's 23 right now, the same way I worried about him when he was 13. Doesn't change. Nothing changes.